fundamental thing that we need to remember is that hiring is about helping companies solve a skills gap. The common mistake is clicking apply without the customization. Think less is more. Pick 3 of the most relevant bullet points.
Hey everyone, welcome to the ChinUp Career Podcast. My name is Nidal Khaznadar, a career coach and founder of ChinUp, a career coaching company where we help professionals land their dream jobs faster. This podcast is all about sharing the best practices, strategies, and expert insights to help professionals just like you land their dream jobs and grow their careers. Today, I'm excited to welcome a special guest, Yasmine Alder Rubi, a global talent acquisition expert at many international companies. Hello, Yasmine. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, hi, good afternoon. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So today we will explore the top strategies and kind of insights and tips to for landing a job at companies, many companies, especially with this tough market. Now let's dive in. Yasmin, can you start by sharing a bit about your career journey?
Yes, so I have worked in talent acquisition in the last 15 years. I've worked with the international development sector and supported global health programs, economic development programs, and I've worked in corporate talent acquisition and business development recruitment. And I started my career with supporting international exchange programs, bringing people from other countries to the US for professional development exchanges and career growth.
Nice. I know, Yasmin, I know you like, I don't know how many years, long time ago, and I know that you helped many people find jobs, you helped people find kind of improve their careers as well. You worked with different organizations, different companies, organizations who have offices in the US, outside the US, and you help many people. What are some key things candidates should understand about getting hired?
Yeah. Yes. So I think the fundamental thing that we need to remember is that hiring is about helping companies solve a skills gap. They have a position open because they need the skills that the candidate is going to bring to help them with a business need. So they're looking for the person that can fill that gap. And so the most important thing is that as a candidate, we want to let the company know that we are the solution. We are the candidate that will bring the skills that they need to help the team, reach their business goals. So the hiring teams, the recruiters, they are wanting to find the most compatible candidate. And so we, the candidates, like we have to help it to be easy for them to recognize in our resumes, in our interviews, that we have the skills that they need for their job.
Got it. Got it. Now, you know, today the market is tough, right? A very tough market, and many people are competing over a limited number of jobs. And that happened in the past, happening today, and might happen in the future as well. What can job seekers do in order for them to stand out, especially during the application, the hiring process?
Yes, yes. So we do need to make effort to for our resumes to stand out. I know it does take a lot of time to tailor resumes, but really customizing your resume for the job description is really going to help you showcase very clearly the connection between your skills and that job. So the reader can actually tell that you have put in that effort to take time to make your summary or customize your bullet points to speak to specific things that the job needs. So use that job description as a guide to help you customize your resume and speak very clearly and make the connection between your skills and that position.
Got it. And I need to mention that, Yasmine, you are a certified resume writer, right?
Yes,
Now,
yeah.
when it comes to resumes,
Mhm.
what other tips would you give to um, job seekers when
Mhm.
they tweak their resumes, when they apply, when they build their resumes as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah. Yes, I recommend putting yourself in the reader's shoes, in the
Mm-hmm.
reader's place, right? When we think about our skills and experience, and that last job that we were in, sometimes it's very easy for us to kind of go on autopilot. We knows what it means to make like a marketing campaign
Mm-hmm.
or project management, but that reader does not know the details. So you want to give the reader details like specifics, right, related to quantifying results or uh, quantifying the amount of uh, direct reports you had or the people that you reached in a podcast or in a training.
Mm-hmm.
Give the reader some context, give them some numbers that help define the scope, explain the scale at which you worked. Also, think about your bullets points, kind of reread them, and think if you're describing, with the STAR technique. Like, did you give some context to situation, task, action, result? So we don't want to merely reflect our responsibilities. We want to give context and talk about the impact that our task had to that team or the process or the organization or the customer. So you also want to describe the so what about your action.
Got it. Now, I see many many job seekers, many people who apply for jobs, they
Mhm.
make some mistakes, some
Yeah,
common mistakes.
yeah.
Now, what are some common mistakes you
Mhm.
see professionals kind of make when they apply for jobs?
So, we do hear a lot about people mentioning how many jobs that they've applied to, and it is true. These days, we do need to apply to a lot. Like we're increasing the probability of getting contacted when we apply to more.
Right.
But the common mistake is clicking apply without the customization. So the reader really can tell if you have, I'm using a little bit of the same response, but,
Hmm.
repeating. The reader can tell if you've made effort to put yourself in the job.
Hmm.
So, a lot of times we may add, 5 or 7 bullets, to describe our job. Think less is more. Pick 3 of the most relevant bullet points that are going to be relatable to that job description so the reader can actually envision you doing the job. So this is one, again, customizing, um, and also giving the so what, why did for example, if you mention manage the social media accounts of your communications team, how about thinking of what was the result of managing those accounts?
Hmm.
Did you grow social media engagement by a certain percent? after doing some market landscaping or expanding the outlets. So think of how can you give some achievement to your responsibility.
Got it. Sounds amazing. Now that's when you apply for jobs, when you build your resume,
Mhm,
when you tweak your resume
mhm,
until you get the opportunity, um, and you are invited for an interview.
mhm,
Now, after being invited
mhm.
for an interview, what
Yeah.
advice would you give, Yasmine, to someone preparing for an interview,
Mhm.
especially to kind of leave a great impression during the interview?
Mhm. Yes, taking time to prepare really is key. We know that interviews consist of behavioral and situational questions. The interviewers, they use your past behavior to
Hmm.
predict your future behavior. So they are going to ask you questions about, how did you how did you perform? How did you resolve? How did you identify mistakes and resolve them? How did you deal with conflict or differences of opinion? So
Hmm.
you want to kind of have a catalog of a few stories related to your work. Think about those challenging times, think about those achievements, and then apply STAR to them. So you can still use STAR as a framework for yourself. Um, and even in interviews, people want to know what you've learned. So think of the learning that you took away
Hmm.
from resolving problems. One is think of a catalog of examples related to situations that you worked, either mitigated conflict, resolved conflict, dealt with successes. Think of that kind of story catalog. The next thing is really take time to look at the company website, understand the values, understand some of the active things that the company is working on, and also review the LinkedIn profiles of the people who you will speak with in the interview. So this is your background research. And this is also going to help you in your interview because you also want to help them clearly see the connection between your experience and their position. So take time when you can to express like how you envision yourself in the job. Think of where you can insert, if they ask you about certain skill sets or a situation, then think of when you close out your response, think of kind of following up with saying like, and I can see myself contributing these skills to this position by, and kind of reference something in the job description. So
Nice.
you're placing yourself in the job when you're responding to questions
Nice.
about your experience.
That's very smart. So you talk about the past experience,
Mhm.
but link it to the job description that you are interviewing for,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow.
And one more thing, then also, you've done your research for the company, the team that you're going to interview with. This is also going to help you kind of develop some insights into what questions should you have prepared as a follow-up or kind of a closeout to the interview. So, the interviewers, hopefully they'll make time for you to ask questions. And
Hmm.
they really want to hear kind of curious questions about the work, about the culture, about something that they asked you about, right? So try to prepare some thoughtful questions rather than questions that are, maybe kind of too general, right?
Hmm.
They want to know that you're curious about them.
Okay, sounds good. Now you remember, Yasmin, a few weeks ago we talked about tools,
Mhm,
AI tools that would help us job seekers
mhm,
to kind of apply for positions, pass ATS system, the ATS
mhm.
system,
Yes,
tweak our resumes,
yes.
and more of these. Now, talking about AI in general, right?
Mhm.
How can job seekers use these AI tools effectively in their job search?
Mhm. Yes, yes. So this is really the hot topic right
Mhm.
now.
It is.
How can we kind of make our job search more efficient with AI tools? And there's so many on the market right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do think that job seekers, we should embrace these tools and consider them as efficiency tools and helping us to really like support our analysis, right? We're kind of
Right.
analyzing how do we fit this job. Well, a lot of the AI tools can help us with that analysis, and then we kind of take that analysis and then on our own customize our job. So I have been using these tools myself and really enjoyed like exploring. But we can use these tools to help like compare our resume to the job description, understand the gaps so we know where to put more effort in tailoring. Let's say that job really focuses on strategic analysis, strategic planning. Well, I might not have emphasized that in a few of my bullet points. So AI is giving me that priority, that I need to go and think of where can I adapt my resume, maybe with examples I might not have thought are important, but there were things I did in a job. So use it for analysis. There's also a lot of AI powered tools that can help you with interviewing. You can record yourself. It
Mm-hmm.
can analyze, how many times did you say, or maybe you need to put a little bit more context to your answer. So companies are embracing these tools in their hiring process. So we need to think of how we can use them as well for our job search process.
Right. Now, I remember one thing
Hmm.
here, Yasmin. I don't know if you have the answer for that, but that's fine.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
I see now a trend
Hmm.
of people would create their
Hmm.
kind of their pitch
Yeah.
to recruiters, to
Hmm.
hiring managers, a
Hmm.
video, like
Hmm.
1-2 minute video,
Hmm.
um, to add to their resumes, and
Hmm.
they send that with their applications.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about this kind of tool?
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll say I haven't come across it.
Uh,
I would I would wonder if the platform that the company is using, does it have a capacity
mhm,
to like absorb or process it? Um, I do think that pitches are good. Sometimes I think it's good to use those pitches to help you with your writing, right? Because help you with your writing, help you prepare for the phone screen or the interview preparation, or even your networking. How to refine your
yes.
your your um your networking pitch, and to really like use it to practice out loud, because sometimes our inner voice might sound a little different than when we're going to you know use the pitch in real life. So I
Right.
do think those tools are helpful um, for us to practice. But honestly, I haven't heard it yet
Mhm.
to be part of the application.
Right. And sometimes I hear people would share this with HR. Like
Mm-hmm.
after applying, they are
Mm-hmm.
invited for interviews. They
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and share this kind of thing. Or
Mm-hmm.
when they reach out to, as you said, you reach out to
Mm-hmm.
people, instead of sending only the resume, they would
Mm-hmm.
send something, especially if they are clear about what
Mm-hmm.
they're looking for.
Yeah.
They would send this kind of video resume
Mm-hmm.
to them to show them, especially if they are people who look confident about
Yeah.
their whatever, it
Mm-hmm.
would add value as well.
Yeah.
Now, there's, yeah, go ahead.
Well, and one thought is to think about the sector that you're applying for, and it could be something that is more common in certain sectors, maybe
Mm-hmm.
technology sectors or creative sectors. Just think of like when we're using resume layouts, you do want to think of, are you applying to a traditional sector where a very standard format is what someone's looking for? Or do you want to add color and some graphics because you're applying to a external marketing job? So
Mm-hmm.
I think the sector will also kind of guide what the norms are in the process.
Got it.
Mhm.
Now, Yasmin, there's a lot of talk about AI replacing
Mhm.
jobs.
Yeah.
Um, do you see, do you really see AI as a threat or
Mhm.
more of a tool for career growth?
Yes. So we know in the next few years there will be a either a revolution or disruption. Something is coming, right? And so we need to think of it in both in two ways, right?
Mhm.
As a job seeker, as a professional, we do need to know how to use these tools, be aware of the different products, the different tools for your profession, because you want to show your employers that you're adaptable, you're curious, you're a lifelong learner. These are traits that are important to employers. So as the job seeker, we want to use these tools to our advantage. As an employee, we want to show we're adaptable and we can learn new processes, new technologies. And at the end of the day, these tools are for our efficiency.
Mhm.
Um, as an employee, these tools may do some of the data heavy tasks that could free us up to do more strategic thinking or creative tasks.
Mhm.
So it will definitely be part of even the HR process.
Mhm.
It may take up um, certain rote or routine functions, even for a recruiter, but it may free up time for a recruiter to have more one-on-one connection with candidates. So I'm looking at it as a positive, that
Mhm.
it's going to help us be more efficient, to do more strategic thinking, relationship building type of tasks, rather than it being a replacement for our roles.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was a guest speaker at one of the events, and another guest speaker, he mentioned something very important, and he said,
Mhm.
I like what he said. He said
Mhm.
that AI will not replace um, replace people.
Mhm.
They will replace people who don't use AI, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
so if you use AI, you
Mhm.
are up to date what's
Yes.
going on. Your skills will be needed to
Mhm.
run AI.
Yes.
If you are out of the game and
Mhm.
you neglect learning about AI, so there's no place for that person to work because they need to be aware of what's going on with the AI, right?
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like we can't we have to embrace it rather than to like deny or
Ex-
be afraid of it.
Exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
All right, Yasmin. Now, any last tips for professionals trying to land their dream
Mhm.
jobs at dream companies?
Mhm. Yeah, so I think, with today's job market, it it's really important for us to be like proactive in our search rather than reactive, right? So
Mm,
meaning like rather than see what's on the job board and apply, look at it from what are your target companies and how are you going to network with or build connections with people at those companies.
mm,
So networking is going to help you proactively with your like with a proactive job search on the companies that you are interested in working with. So whether it's like you're researching who works on the teams at those companies that are related to your role on LinkedIn, or talking to your neighbors and who's
mhm.
their sister-in-law. um, you know uh, don't discount those conversations that you have with people and letting them know where you're interested in working. So networking is really going to be like the additional kind of requirement now in our job search more than ever.
Awesome. Now, Yasmine, some of the tips that you mentioned in our conversation,
Mhm,
customize your resume and show that you put effort into your application. Use job description as a guide.
mhm,
Put yourself in the reader's shoes and provide more details and numbers.
mhm,
Less is more.
mhm,
Take time to prepare for taking time to prepare for interviews is key.
mhm,
Technical and behavioral questions are very important. You need to prepare for both of them. Make sure you think of stories to share during interviews.
mhm,
Prepare some thoughtful questions rather than too general. And
mhm,
lastly, proactively network.
mhm, mhm.
All right, Yasmin. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for sharing your insights with us today. It was a great conversation.
Good, thank you. And I wish everyone luck in their job search journey. And I hope that we will all find a position that embraces our skills and helps us grow. So good luck,
Absolutely.
everyone.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Yes.